Hi, everyone. I'm Kristi Gustafson Barlette from the Times Union and timesunion.com. Welcome to our first ever 20 Things Plus. So we have been doing 20 Things You Don't Know About Me in the Times Union for about 3 years now. Each week, it's every Monday morning. We highlight someone in the capital region. We've learned about people who are in local media, business owners, real estate agents, medical professionals, politicians, and more. And each week they share, as the name suggests, 20 things you don't know about me, along with some photos. So 20 Things Plus will allow us to go back and catch up with people who have already been featured in 20 Things You Don't Know About Me. We'll see where they've been, what they've been doing, and we will learn a few new things about them. So the first person joining us for our first 20 Things Plus is Brian Cody. Brian is one half of the morning duo, WGNA in the mornings. It's Brian and Kristi in the mornings. He's over at WGNA 107.7 FM, one of the country stations in the area. And in the interest of full disclosure, I do a segment with them each Thursday morning shortly after 7 a.m. And I've done that for about a decade. And Brian was one of our first ever 20 Things You Don't Know About Me features. And as much as it kills me to say it, because I love giving Brian a hard time, 20 Things did very, very well, and it continues to do well. And I love a chance to just needle him and ask questions. So I thought he'd be a good person to join us today. So hello, Brian.
Hey, Kristi, thanks for having me. It's an honor. 20 Things Plus. So we have a couple things to get to. Hopefully people will find them interesting.
We do. Okay, so I was reading your 20 Things last night and to try to kind of catch up and see what I wanted to ask you about. And a lot of them stuck with me. I was also a little scared at how many I agreed with because I didn't think we had that much in common. But two of the ones I had to ask about. First is egg salad. You said egg salad grosses me out. Now, I get that we all have that gross food. Mine is coleslaw. I don't want it on my plate. But is it egg salad or is it hard-boiled eggs of all forms? Like, can you do deviled eggs? Can you do eggs and pasta salad? Tell me about why you're so grossed out about this.
Well, Kristi, I know people are going to find this wildly fascinating, but I do like deviled eggs, but the whole thing with egg salad, I think, started when I was much younger. I don't know if it was about eating it or being grossed out by the taste, as it was as much a friend of mine who, when I was in middle school, would sit across from me and he would have an egg salad sandwich like almost every day. And at that time, when you're 13, he's got braces, the rubber bands, the whole thing. So you can imagine being positioned across from Chris, and he knows who he is. It's just ruined me mostly for life.
But now, didn't you do a segment at one point where you had to eat an egg salad sandwich on air?
Yeah, we did something around Thanksgiving. We did like a pumpkin spice fear factor. And all of us on the air confronted some kind of a food challenge of sorts. And I did get through. It was a thick, jumbo, meaty egg salad sandwich. But to make matters worse, Kristi, my co-host, decided to have me relive my childhood nightmare. So, well, I wasn't, but there was a guy across from us who was like one of our, who worked also for Town Square, named John. And he too was eating an egg salad sandwich. And he's like getting right in my face and he's chomping. And I got through the sandwich. I wanted him to die. I was like, I hope something horrible happens to you for putting me through this.
Well, I think you've just turned me off to egg salad because that's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Terrible.
So the other one that I noticed was you said that men should never wear sandals or flip-flops. And there was a couple things with this. First of all, the word never is very, very strong. Yeah. And secondly, we're going into summer. It's going to be 80 degrees today. What do you expect men to do? Should they be in socks and sneakers all the time? What do they do when they go to the pool or the beach? And what the heck is wrong with a nice pair of flip-flops?
Okay, so you know what? Never is a strong word, and I figured at some point you would call me out on that, because accuracy is everything. I realize that. There are exceptions, and I have worn flip-flops like around the pool or to the beach. But for fashion, for me, it would be the last things that I'd want to put on my feet, especially maybe with shorts on occasion. Fine, just not for me. But sandals and jeans, fashion, throw on a pair of shoes, man. Find some fashionable, cool looking sneakers. Doesn't have to be anything heavy. You can wear something light, stylish on your feet without showing your toes. Guys shouldn't be showing their toes.
All right, yeah, I was going to say, are you grossed out by the hairy toes, or is it the bad fashion choice, or is it both?
I feel like whenever I see a guy wearing sandals and jeans, I feel like it just overpowers the whole look. And I'm somehow just drawn to the fact that I can't believe this man is doing this. I'm so disappointed in you, sir. Even though the rest of you looks pretty well put together, throw some sneakers on.
Well, my husband wears flip-flops and jeans sometimes. I'm gonna have to tell him that gets thumbs down from Brian. All right, now you're going to share 3 new things with us. So
sure. Why
don't you start with number 1?
Okay. Let me remember exactly what the 3 things were.
It's about your grandfather.
Oh, well, that's the thing. I didn't know if you wanted me to start with that. Okay, I see it now.
Yes.
So I learned on Easter Sunday in a Zoom call with my my father's entire side of the family, like all over the country, some even in like Germany, I think. I learned something about my father's father, my Zadie, my grandfather, that in 1964, he saved 2 young children and he rescued them from a burning building there it is, October 30th, 1964. There's a competitor's newspaper from a million years ago. But you can see the fire. It was a big fire, big blaze. He was from Albany, my grandfather. And on business, he happened to be traveling through Schenectady. And he saw a distressed woman, older woman, I believe it was the children's grandmother, outside holding a child on the side of the road, screaming, "Please help, please help." So he gets out of his car. She directs him where he needs to go. He runs upstairs to inside a burning building where there's 2 children, ages 2 and 3 years old, and he brings them down to safety. The crazy thing about this story is I hardly heard anything about it, so I started investigating. I actually wrote about it, talked about it a little bit on the show. A woman reached out to me that somehow connected all the dots, recognized some of the names from this article, reached out to me. There were 3 children in the house. The 2 kids that he saved, I've spoken to both of them. And to this day, they had no idea who got them out of that house.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's incredible.
So now you need to be working on doing your own hero thing at some point, because that's hard to beat. That's an awesome story.
The reality is I have hero's blood piping through these veins. It just will never have a chance to manifest itself because I think I'm a coward.
Not to wear sandals and flip-flops to be a hero.
That's true. No hero has ever worn sandals and jeans. I can tell you that. Not one hero.
Sure, that's not what your grandfather was wearing. All right. Number 2 is about your adorable son, who I love, or he's really, as we mentioned in this, who I love seeing on social media. I tell you all the time, I think he should be a child model. So tell us about number 2.
You know, when Brody and when Brody's here and he's bonding with me and Samantha, and I have even just some time where it's just me and him, you know, I tend to try to get inside his brain and his imagination, telling little stories, creating characters. Children find stories with everything, and I've gotten okay as a father at sort of enhancing that. So long story short, rather than reading to him before he goes down to sleep at night, quite often I'll just create a story. He tells me what he wants it to be about, and I will usually just riff for like 3 to 5 minutes. So I would like to write a children's book or 2 before he turns 7, and he'll be 5 on July 1st. So I have a couple years to get on that.
And will he have a starring role in the book? Will one of the characters be named Brody?
Probably not, but I can assure you, maybe, but I can assure you that he will certainly inspire a moment or a character that'll help me to write about. I love children's books. I love John Gray's book. I think he did a Keller's Heart. It's a great book.
Very cool. All right. And I thought you were going to say about All Dogs Go to Heaven, but
that's a good one too.
Okay. So then number 3, tell me about this one. This one I was really surprised about because for years you have given me a hard time about this, and it turns out you feel the same way. So go ahead.
So the difference between you and I is that you're a journalist. You're naturally curious to the point you border on just nosy. Like I feel like in where you live, you're the nosy neighbor, and you pry and this and that. So I would think that true crime, any kind of documentary, would be right up your alley. I'm a documentary guy, so I'm usually like I like to be blown away by like, oh my God, I can't believe that was real, as opposed to something that's scripted. I've been told so many times, watch Ozark. Samantha right now is watching Outlander, Narcos, all these shows. I'm sure they're great shows, but outside of a documentary, I have never watched any binge-worthy series from beginning to end, especially the ones that you guys love the most. I'll find a reason to hate them the most.
So are you binge watching any documentary right now since you have more time than you would have had previously?
It's unfortunately I can't binge because it's the one on ESPN. It's the Michael Jordan one, The Last Dance.
Oh yes.
So Kristi, that's a good one. They air it Sunday nights for 2 episodes, and there's only 2 left, and I'm gonna be so bummed when it's over because it's so good, so good.
Can't binge on 2. All right, well, thank you very much, but I don't want you to go anywhere because we're going to play a little game in that we're going to preview Monday's 20 Things, and I want to see if you can help me guess. So as I said, every Monday, we have a new 20 Things You Don't Know About Me on timesunion.com. And it's somebody who's never been featured before. And it goes live at 7 a.m. We're going to give you a couple clues. And we want you to guess. You can tweet us at Times Union. You can tweet me at Just Kristi. You can comment on our Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter pages, anywhere. Take a guess, and you'll find out Monday if you're right. But you get a head start because I want you to try to guess right now. And I don't think you're going to get it, but here we go. Okay. First off, he used to be a redhead with freckles, but now he has brown hair and has no freckles. Okay, so we know it's a guy. He started doing TV in high school where he had a talk show with his best friend. And the bonus thing with that is that his first on-air job, his official paid on-air job, was in Atlantic City. Okay. The last one is he's from New Jersey and spent his summers on the Jersey Shore, but likes to be clear about the fact that the Jersey Shore was not like the Jersey Shore with Snooki and JWoww and other people whose names I don't remember and that whole crew. He had the tempered summer Jersey Shore experience while working, and then worked in Atlantic City eventually. And he has brown hair, and he's obviously on TV because we've said that. So do you have a guess?
How much time do I have? 20 seconds, 30 seconds? What do I have here?
3 seconds. Come on.
3 seconds? Well, because I mean, this is like crazy. He used to have freckles. Now he doesn't. He did this. He's from Jersey. My go-to when it comes to, go ahead.
I was going to give you one more bonus, but go ahead. Give me your bonus. I'll pick a bonus.
No, give me one more bonus.
All right. Well, I'll give you a music one because you're into music. He loves vinyl. He says, I've been collecting records for the past 15 years. 1980s, like New Wave, Duran Duran, Simple Minds in the Cars, make up most of it, but there's some Elvis and TS thrown in.
And this is
something
somebody
about
who's
it,
on,
records are big. But he's not an age that you would think that records would be big.
Okay, so he's one of these cool, like, new age guys who's like, yeah, I only listen to vinyl because of the sound. He's an audio guy. And he's on TV now?
He's on television locally.
Jim Cambrick. No idea.
No, Jim Cambrick. It's not Jim Cambrick. And you know what?
Yeah.
Wait. First of all, it's not Jim Cambrick. That's not even close. And you get one more guess that is a little bit more reasonable. Like, go younger and not such dark hair.
But who's on, like, on TV as in, like, news? It's got to be news television, right? Oh, news TV?
Because we used to be in Atlantic City on the news.
Who was originally from Jersey? I would say Chris Honorado, but he's a redhead with freckles now. So I don't know, though. I have no idea, Kristi.
And you know what else? We already had Chris Honorado. So thanks for reading and thanks for paying attention. And due to that, I don't even think I should wish you a happy birthday for tomorrow because I know it's your birthday tomorrow. See, I know what's going on with you, even though you don't know what's going on.
I need to start paying better attention, clearly. It starts right now.
All
That's
right.
going to be when we do 20 things plus, I'm going to add, I've started to pay attention.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you, Brian, for joining me. And thank you, everyone, for watching us. Please be sure, like I said, to tweet us your guesses, and we will see you next time on 20 Things Plus.